For me, it was really tough because I lost my best friend to kidney failure 2 years prior to that. For me, this is where it gets really touchy because I saw her, and I couldn't lose anybody else. Growing that close bond with her, even though it was a short amount of time, I couldn't see her going through that. I met Alissa 7 years ago, and I was working in childcare and decided to go back to school. When I went back to school, I signed up for 2 courses, and we had a new Aboriginal space built in the Student Union building. Felt like it was the only 2 people that were using the room was Alissa and I, and that is how we met. Alissa was young, and she was 17, fresh out of high school. She was a badminton player, and she had told me that she had been in foster care. And a lot of Aboriginal people don't make it after they come out of foster care. And her being on her own at the age of 17, continuing to push herself in her sports was what was truly amazing. I always talked about my children with her, and she was just like, I really, really wish I had that mother figure, and if I did, I wish it was like you. And that at that point, I knew that there was more to our relationship. My kids called her sister already, and even though my son, he was only 14 years old, and my daughter was 1, they really enjoyed spending time with her as if she was their sister. I told Alissa, I was like, what, we need to make this just a little bit more, and through a traditional adoption. And I let her know that we could definitely, she could be just one of my children. When I had told Alissa that I would be adopting her, she was so excited. And she never really had that figure in her life, and I was there to help and support her in that way. Throughout the whole semester, there was times where she was tired, but she never ever gave up, and we never really understood why she was getting really tired. She trained really, really hard for badminton. She was getting ready to go for nationals, and with nationals you have to go for a physical. They gave her the go-ahead to continue on to to travel for nationals. And it wasn't until she returned when we had realized the reason for her being so tired throughout the semester. They had given her a phone call to let her know that her kidneys were failing. I told her, I was like, well, what can I do? Is there a way that we can figure out if I can be your donor, and I would be a live donor for you? I had been waiting for quite some time. Our semester had ended, and the phone call came in, and it was St. Paul's Hospital. And she had, on the phone, let me know that our tissue typing, that we were a match. And it was in my hands at that point where she had asked me a few times, are you sure that you would like to, go on? She has pushed herself from a point of having nobody care for her, and for her to come into my life, that she deserves a second chance. I didn't even wait 10 seconds after I got off the phone with the hospital to call her, and I got on the phone and we cried, and I said, I have some news, and we're a match. I don't think that I could be whole if I didn't allow this to happen. After I woke up from surgery, the first thing I said, well, is it working? And I was so excited because they said she peed, and they're like, your kidney is working, and it worked. She moved on to SFU after, and she just graduated last summer. She graduated with honors. Just recently in October, she married our best friend's brother. And Cody has become a part of our family, just as she has. And that was a very exciting moment to to see her, come from a young girl at the age of 17 to finish school, to continue on, as I knew she deserved that second chance, and to come to a point in her life where she can find love. Alissa is my inspiration.